Welcome back to the second hour of The Archive, the show where we dive deep into K-pop and K-content with in-depth analysis, unique stories, hidden meanings, and fresh insight, all from our very own library studio. In our second hour, it's time for a weekly segment, The Anonymous, where we share your stories, worries, and concerns, along with a bit of insight from our very own AJohn and the Answer book. For those who want to tune in, we recommend listening to our online stream at arirang.com/radio. And if you would like to watch the visual radio, please check out our official YouTube channel, Arirang Radio K-pop. Most importantly, we have an Instagram account at thearchive_8f, where we post highlight clips of our show. You can send us a direct message if you have a message you'd like read on air or any song request. Plus, we have a link tree in our Instagram bio where you can find the Google Forms link for our weekly Wednesday segment, The Anonymous. And before we move on, I want to tell you a little bit about our weekend segments, everyone. On Saturday, we have the Word Chain, a fun listener game where we build a playlist based on words shared in our official forms that are available in the link tree. Our Monday's guest, Kaho, kicked things off with the first word, which you can check now on our Instagram account, so please go ahead. And on Sunday, we have the mood board coming up, where listeners send in song requests and stories inspired by a keyword or image posted on our Instagram account. The deadlines for the Word Chain is at 6 p.m. every Thursday, that is tomorrow, and the mood board is at Friday, 6 p.m. every day. So please get those submissions in before it is too late at our Instagram account at thearchive_8f. Cannot wait to launch our new segment, The Anonymous. You guys sent in so many messages anonymously, and we are so down to really listen and possibly give you some ideas or resolutions to your concerns and worries. If not, if we cannot come with anything, we'll rely on the book of answers hiding right there in the corner. So please make sure to look forward to our show. We'll begin officially as we invite AJohn into the studio while listening to a track coming from Freestyle. This is 수치인 불명, Address Unknown. Life is full of questions, dilemmas, and those moments when you just need a second opinion. That's where we come in, everyone. Welcome to The Anonymous, where you send in your worries anonymously, and we send back some words of wisdom served with a side of honesty and heart. To help us, we have the one and only AJohn in the studio.
Good afternoon. Happy hump day.
Happy hump day indeed. How are you feeling today, brother?
I'm feeling very nervous.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm feeling still very nervous, but we got a lot of people sending in a lot of love, so I do appreciate that. But before we begin, I did want to answer the question of the day, which was, what's your favorite Korean word?
What is your favorite Korean word?
And I think my
Please
favorite
don't tell me it's naengmyeon.
No, it's not naengmyeon. It's not naengmyeon.
Okay.
I think my favorite Korean word would be a Korean word that is only in Korean and that can't really be translated into English.
There are terms like that.
And there are several words that I thought of, and I think one of them would be 눈치, which is to read the room, kind of take hints. Another one would be 시원해.
시원해.
How would you describe 시원해?
Like in terms of food, or
Yeah, in terms of food.
Food. 시원하다. It's like usually when you eat spicy food, people say, 시원하다.
Exactly. But spicy food, sometimes hot food, which is, it's translated as refreshing, but at the same time, you can use it for both cold and hot food as well.
It gets complex.
It does get complex. But I think one of my favorite Korean word would be 꼰대. Phrases would be 꼰대, which means...
What does it mean?
The only one that I could find was boomer or kind of...
Boomer.
But to kind of give a definition would be like somebody who finds, hierarchy very important.
Let me ask you a question. You've been working with me for the past 2 weeks.
Yes.
Intensely.
The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Yes. I know where you're going to go, and the answer is yes. I know where you're going to go.
Oh, so you're calling me one of the best person to work with, right?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
I don't know if I made the right decision to get him on air.
Hey, this is what you asked for.
That's hilarious. I'm loving it, brother. Some of our listeners were asking me what is Yohan's favorite word in Korean. I said 아름답다 or 아름다움. because it sounds so beautiful.
It is.
아름다움. It's like 아름, so divine.
Yes.
So that is my favorite. Since last night, we've been receiving so many messages and comments of people saying, John, they really appreciate your presence on the show. How does it feel?
It feels really good. It feels very interesting to receive a lot of feedback because, other shows you might not receive it directly, or I'm always behind the scenes, so nobody gets to see what I'm doing. But I'm really glad that a lot of people do appreciate it. I feel a little bit bad because while I do see a lot of receive a lot of people's DM, I can't reply to individual one, especially when we are live. So I do leave a like, I do leave a heart, so people know that I've seen it, that I appreciate it. But I do feel a little bit bad at times just leaving people kind of on scene. But I am reading all of it. We're reading all of it. Even if the ones that we don't say on air, we do read it when we're out, during the day as well. So we appreciate you guys as well.
And so far, John's been doing a fascinating job in answering your questions and pressing hearts on your messages because he has to scrap them for me during the live show. But if there is a specific message that you want to send to either AJohn or Yohan, please, in the beginning of your message, just say to Yohan or to AJohn, and we'll be able to reply back right away.
Yes.
Sounds goody. So this is the very beginning of our Wednesday's Corner. It's called The Anonymous. And I need to give you some background check here because one of our listeners was saying, Yohan, I still remember when you said one day you should do a podcast of counseling session. And this segment reminds me of it. And yes, I am keeping my words finally because I said that a long time ago saying I want to do like a counseling session.
Right.
But we made it come true and big hooray for that. Right?
And I think this is, when you showed me the proposal of the show, I think this is what really got me into it because I think this is my favorite segment out of, our whole week of Every Other Corner as well. And we get to hear you guys' stories and worries, what's on your mind, any questions that you guys have, and we just add our 2 cents.
Exactly. And we also, on top of that, brought in this book of answers, everyone.
Yes.
Meaning, if we cannot find the right resolution or solution to your problem, obviously we won't probably, but we'll ask for some help from this book of answers guru, let's say, to open up a random page and seek for advice. How about that? Do you have any simple concern right now?
Let's
give it a test.
My concern is that I will make mistakes, but when I do, how do I, not 귀주거? Oh, 귀주거 is another good Korean phrase as well.
Okay, how would you put that?
When you feel your self-esteem kind of gets broken.
Right, and you feel little.
Right.
How are you going to manage that situation?
How do I manage it? How do I bounce back?
All right, guys, here it goes. John, put your hands on it.
Is this
1, 2, 3. It says, it may already be a done deal. Ooh, meaning even if you make mistakes, it's a done deal.
Yeah, it's already
Get over
done.
it.
Exactly. Oh, that's actually a really good one.
All right. We are going to rely so much on this book today.
Yes.
Well, our listeners are very curious of the show, right?
Exactly.
So let us begin.
So yes, we got our first submission. Here it goes, everyone. Listen carefully. So this was sent to us by The Green Lamp.
The Green Lamp.
Yes, and it says, hello, Yohan and AJohn. It's so exciting and thrilling to be part of the launch of the archive. I can't wait to see what else you have in store. I'm thinking back over the years since I've known you, Yohan. It's incredible how you have found your way and go your own way. The most challenging thing for me at the moment is to deal with the health challenge, which will continue for a few more weeks and still not lose my joy. As in the various other times before, I'm supported by my family, friends, and God. Otherwise, I would have long since become better and I'm depressed, and I choose joy and not giving up every day. One thing I really enjoy is continuing to learn Korean, even if it is in slow steps, and also continue to immerse myself in the history and culture of our son-in-law's homeland. I hope that wasn't too long. Happy Wednesday and be blessed.
Says the Green Lamp.
Yes.
Also, there's a PS message saying,
Yes, PS.
I only recently came across this song, Who Am I, from the album Super Show 2, the second Asia Tour concert album from 2009. The member Siwon's voice sounds so good with it. The song fits so well with how I'm feeling right now. Song request came in from our Mr. or Mrs. or the Green Lamp.
Yes. Unfortunately, the song is not in the database from what I understand.
It isn't.
So we will.
We're gonna reveal it later on, I think.
Yep.
Right, for our listener. What do you think about this story or concern?
I think it's great. The fact that she or he's been keeping up with your content for several years. I think that's really sweet. But also, health issues is definitely something that has been an issue as you get older. I feel like I care about my health a little bit more as well. And also, I think it's great that they're learning Korean. Korean is, while people say it is a very easy language to learn, I think there is still very hard to master. I'm still learning Korean myself.
Right.
Well, I can talk Korean perfectly naturally. When I read and write, I do find it a bit struggling. So, yes, it is going to be a slow step, but I hope you guys get there.
Sincerely. Again, health issues, especially with age, it's a natural thing that we face all the time, right? So regular checkups are always so very important.
Yes.
But the core message here is, I think the concern there is how should she keep that sense of joy in her heart despite all these hardships? And one thing that's bringing her joy is to learn the Korean culture, Korean history, also the language of her son-in-law's homeland. And, when you face these difficulties that you cannot simply overcome, such as, illnesses or some hardships in life, especially related to health, what brings you joy? How do you overcome that stress, John?
So this is a very a story that comes close to heart because people who know me kind of knows that I have several major health issues. That's just genetics. And I think one of my way is to really interact with other people and to rely on others because while it is, there's always a dark side and a good side to things. And there's also you dealing with this issue can also give other people help. So, for example, if I go into a little bit about myself, I have eczema, which is a skin,
yes.
in Korean it would be atopy. And basically, I struggle with it at times, but also me having this, I can relate to a lot of other people who might go through similar issues. And yeah, I think that's one way I kind of deal with it and also find happiness as well.
Very good point. Surrounding yourself with especially people.
Exactly.
Right? Because at the bottom of our hearts, we're social animals.
Right.
And although you might enjoy spending time all by yourself, when you're specifically ill or you feel depressed a little bit, I think the fastest way to recovery would be to surround yourself with people you love and open up to them of your concerns, in which I'm terrible at doing.
Right.
So I'm also, that's one of my concerns too. I have a difficult time opening up to people around me, including AJohn, of course.
We'll get there.
We'll get there for sure.
Yes.
I see many comments coming up right now. We say, B for Bahar says, enjoy music and time in nature.
Right, in nature, yeah.
Good point. And, by the way, there is psychological proof that when you're feeling depressed and low, just by simply walking will boost your dopamine level.
Right. It is definitely something that, changing your environment, getting that fresh air, seeing green is actually supposed to be really good for you. And it's a lot of people's hobby as well. We never got to ask him, but Kyle's, one of his favorite hobby is go walking. So yeah, going on a good walk in the fresh area is really good for you.
Exactly. And many people actually asking us whether it should be anonymous or not for our corner. The core of it should be anonymous, right? Because that's the whole meaning behind this whole segment. But if by any chance you slide in your message by mistake typing in your name, we'll keep it uncovered. I mean, we'll keep it covered and hidden, so don't worry about that. Time for Book of Answers?
Yeah, Book of Answers.
I think we should go for it. Book of Answers. So this is I don't know, I would call it a tip coming from the Book of Answers. Say.
It says the outcome will be positive.
What?
Ooh.
The outcome will be positive, it says, everyone. Oh my goodness. So hang in there. Hopefully things will look much better on your end.
Yes.
And we will definitely be praying for you too.
Yes, so moving on to our next one, it says, it's actually from Mirror Mind, and they said, "Hi, Yohan. I wanted to share something that has been troubling me for quite some time. Why do some people choose to ask others for their impression or opinion about someone they are unhappy with instead of addressing the issue directly with that person? Ooh, so I've experienced this many times, and it's disappointing when people form the wrong impression of me simply because they ask those who already have a negative perception of me. Instead of getting to know me firsthand, they trust biased opinions. I recently came across a quote that really resonated with me. Rumors can make you dislike innocent people. Don't judge others based on what people say about them. Be wise. Get to know them for yourself. Then form your own opinion. The one talking to you may be the one you need to stay away from.
Oh,
Right?
powerful.
This made me think, if someone speaks badly about others behind their backs, what's stopping them from doing the same to you? Perhaps this is something to reflect on today.
Oh, good point.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity to get this off my chest. I hope people will take the time to know someone before forming an opinion about them. Just like the saying, don't judge a book by its cover. It's important to understand a person first. And even if your opinion of them remains negative, that still doesn't justify speaking behind their back. Instead, maybe what they truly need is constructive feedback, something that could help them change for the better. Talking behind someone's back is cowardly and doesn't make anyone the better person.
Oh.
This was by Mirror Mind.
This was by Mirror Mind, and this is such a well-written message,
Right.
isn't it? Even in Korea, there is a term called 뒷담화. Now, that is also referring to the people who talk in the back.
Yes.
Negatively of the people that they do not like. I think honestly speaking, I've experienced this several times too.
Right.
Obviously, we cannot please everyone as we do our life, as we meet people, and as we face challenges. Obviously, some people will not like you back.
Right.
Have you faced similar situations too?
Yeah, I think even though I went to an all-boys high school, boys love to talk behind each other's back. And I faced this a lot. People would ask me, and I would just, for most cases, I will give people mostly a positive review because I think, everyone has a good side to them. But I do sometimes feel that they come to me expecting me to give a negative, impression of somebody else, which at the times that I'm like, why, ask for me, if you already have a set answer. But yes, this does happen quite often, right?
And I think that's why stereotypes are so scary. Because sometimes, when you first meet a person, you obviously set your standards about that person right away, automatically. And that is based on your database of how you've done your life so far. But keeping that broader mindset, saying, I only have seen the tip of an iceberg of that person, will make you kind of more careful and cautious in kind of setting that defined definition of that specific person.
Right. I think, but if you're coming to somebody when you had a negative experience and you come to somebody and want a genuinely what their experience was, maybe questioning if it's just your unique experience with that person was negative and you just want to kind of hear that, oh, this person is actually genuinely a good person, then I can understand why some may ask others for their impression. But coming with a set mind, I think that is not the most healthiest way. And yeah, it's definitely not a good to talk behind people's back.
Exactly. And without us knowing or not, we also sometimes would end up talking behind someone, right? Because it's I don't know, it just happens naturally. But this message made me also look after myself one more time, look back on myself, and I think we should be more conscious and cautious when really setting impressions about specific people, right?
Right. But I could see how, if you go through this experience, that you could be disappointed at why people act like this.
But I think our listener gave a great tip. Mochiana says, it's called talking behind your back because they're behind you. You have the upper hand. Ignore it. Ooh. Roasted. Oh my goodness, I love that.
Someone is spitting bars. Wow, that's amazing.
Wendy also says, I prefer direct confrontation too, right? I mean, those people who always constantly talk behind you, in a situation of fight or flight, they would fly.
Yes.
And that's for sure.
So I want to ask you, if you have a significant other and you get into a disagreement, would you want to talk it out with him, or do you want to not talk to each other and just hopefully
Let it slide, huh?
Yeah, let it slide.
I used to be a person for the latter.
Right.
But nowadays, I'm becoming much of a former.
Mm.
So even with people, if there is something that's on my mind, I need to give them a call right away. Saying,
Right.
so this and that, we got to get this solved. What
Yeah.
about you?
I'm also the same. I need to, if we disagree about something, we have to convince each other. We have to fight it out. We have to argue it out. Because I've had a significant other in the past.
Okay.
Well, she was a great person. When we get into a disagreement, she would sometimes just go mute, like she wouldn't talk at all.
Mute.
And then she would just kind of like cry, or she would just try to escape the environment, which to me would leave me in a situation where I would be like, oh, what did I do? And, but they just wanted for it to just kind of, hopefully take a bit of a rest and just act like nothing happened, which is not the way that I went, but I could understand where she was coming from.
Exactly. Lenny also says, agreed. Just talk in front of people. And also, Bahar says, true, Johan, words carry weight. So we need to be careful. So yeah, I mean, mind our own businesses, right?
Exactly.
I mean, our life is already so heavy and there's so much burdens. I mean, taking care of yourself is enough for now.
But I think communication is definitely a key, but it is also about delivery as well. How you say certain things. I think being on air, and also if you talk to people, sometimes you have good intentions.
You do.
Your message, context-wise, it is coming from a good place, but sometimes your delivery just, can get confused. It can get mistaken. So I think that is also something that we have to really be careful about.
Exactly. Let's check what the Book of Answers got to say about this. I love this book.
Do you want to do it for
this time? I'm going to make it very, very transparent here, everyone. Here it is. I don't know what it says, but you get the first few. If you can even see it. Whoa, it's very short. It says,
yes.
Yes. Oh, so confrontation.
Yes.
Yes, everyone. Don't let it slide. If there's, I think all the comments that our listeners sent in saying you've got the upper hand. Yes.
Yes.
Confrontation. Yes. Be
They're
careful
behind you
of
for a reason.
Exactly. Be careful with word choices. Yes.
Yes.
So what we just learned today, that's a yes.
Exactly.
And with that said came first and second submission of today's The Anonymous. And we need to listen to some songs, right?
Yes.
I believe the first submission requested a song by Siwon of Super Junior, but I believe this was a cover song and it's not really registered in our database yet. So instead, I want to play out this song for your happiness. It's called 행복 Happiness by Super Junior. And also, I also want to play out a song that's going to be called 풍문으로 들었어. I heard it by rumor by 장기하와 얼굴들 기하 and the faces because as you all know, rumors are rumors, right?
Right.
And here it goes, everyone. 행복 by Super Junior. And yes, everybody, that was 힘내 Way to Go by 소녀시대 Girls' Generation. The one before that, that was Elevator by Pecco. That was fun, wasn't it?
It was so fun, and we had so many more, and a lot of people sent us, but we didn't have the time. So please, if you guys have time, send it our way. It is in the link in our bio.
And it's not like we're going to refresh it every episode. We're going to have to keep a collection, and we'll deal with the messages that came in. So please make sure to keep the messages coming in through our link tree on our Instagram account. And that marks the very end of our corner today, The Anonymous. What's up tomorrow? Something very interesting coming up, isn't it?
We have a very interesting group study coming tomorrow.
Group study.
We will do a deep dive on a specific artist or group. So yes, that's going to be very fun.
And to give you a little bit of a tip, this is going to be like a study room concept, meaning we're going to be dressed up in the most coziest way possible. So if you want to join us, get into your hoodie, your favorite sweater or something, wear your slippers or whatever, and join us for that cozy group study session. I think that'd be wonderful, wouldn't it?
Yes, we're both probably going to be wearing hoodies. We're going to be comfortable, and we're really going to hustle to, get this artist or group, memorized for basically preparing for an exam.
Again, a big thank you to everyone who tuned in today with us. It's been our biggest joy to be able to deliver K-music and K-content to you, your way, global listeners. I'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. KST sharp. That is Korean Standard Time, again, KST. Until then, stay safe. It is Yohan Lee and
AJohn.
Signing
Off. Bye.
There it is. Bye-bye. And yes, there it was. Everyone, 행복, happiness by Super Junior. And 풍문으로 들었어. I heard it by Rumor, by Kiha, and the faces, 장기하와 얼굴들. Our chat is going crazy right now. Everyone's sending that, like, how do you call this? Like, cartwheel, is it?
The cartwheel?
The cartwheel emoji. People are flipping. And this is hilarious. Benny says, flip away the negativities in life.
Yes.
Ooh, loving the energy very, very much.
I love that people are also sending in what their 2 cents and their opinions on it because, sometimes we don't have all the answers.
Right.
And if we don't, we can't give you a good help.
Let us be honest.
Yes.
I don't think we'll ever have the right answers.
Exactly. Probably won't.
So guys, again, The Archive, this is a collective show. We love to bring in your opinions and we love to read your comments, so get them flowing, okay?
But I did want to ask you, what are you a T or an F?
Guess, what do you think I am?
I think you are, you're very creative, but also I think you're very T.
Ooh.
But also, I'm communicating when, we have a lot of work related stuff, so maybe T?
We need to spend some time outside of work.
You're
I don't
F?
think you know me yet. I'm a huge F.
Really?
I am a huge F. Did you watch my final episode of my former show by any chance?
I did hear rumors that somebody...
We'll keep it there, okay? Keep it
Yes,
there,
yes,
okay?
yes.
No more spoiling. All right, no more spilling. All right, you guys are joining us for The Anonymous, where you guys are submitting your concerns and worries and stories anonymously, and we are trying to give you our 2 cents and also getting some answers from the Book of Answers. We're going to move
Yes.
on to the very next story, but I believe this is more like a question.
This
isn't
is a
it?
question. And this was sent to us by Anonymous B. It says, hi, DJ Yohan and writer AJohn. Big congrats on starting the new show, The
Yay!
Archive. I'm curious, the Instagram username is at thearchive_8f. What exactly does 8f mean? I love this question.
Okay, I think they were confused because obviously our show is called The Archive.
Yes.
And The Archive is a name that is literally everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So if we had the options, we would have loved to keep it as The Archive, at
Right.
The Archive. But obviously there were too many archives out there.
Right.
So we had to make it stand out. And what does 8F mean then, John?
Right. No, I want you to answer because I had the same question. Because there's a lot of other girl options as well, but I'm somebody who doesn't really, mind too much.
Uh-huh.
So I was happy to go with it. But you specifically suggested that we should go with 8F. So what does it mean?
I'm not sure if you guys have tuned. You probably did tune in to the very next show. That's Culture Inc. In the beginning of the show, you can hear 8층입니다. That means it is the 8th floor.
Yes.
And that is because the radio team, the radio center here at Arirang Tower is based on the 8th floor.
Yeah.
And this is a small room on the 8th floor. And that's why we had to call it The Archive 8F.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people send us stuff, and it is towards the 8th floor. But it is an interesting name because if I look at other people's other, Arirang Radio's Instagram channels, a lot of them have it like Arirang, if it was like The Archive and then they do underscore, Arirang Radio or Arirang. But you specifically wanted 8F, which is a unique choice, which is a very unique.
I like it too. And people are saying, we were just talking about MBTI, FNT, and we just said that Yohan is a F.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's 8F. So they were like,
8F.
does that mean he has like 8 feelings?
Maybe.
I think I have 2, either happy or sad.
Yes.
Definitely cool. So again, Radio Center is based on the 8th floor of Arirang Tower, and that's why our name is Arirang 8F. I mean, not Arirang. The Archive underscore
The
8F.
Archive 8F,
Oof,
yes.
Getting confused. Only 3 days in, and we are already out of
Making
our
mistakes,
minds.
yeah.
But again, thank you for that lovely question, Anonymous B. I don't think you need any resolutions from the Book of Answers, right?
Yes.
So we'll move on quickly to the next submission. AJohn, please do the job for us. By the way,
Yes.
people are asking, is John a T?
Oh, so I'm very much in the middle. So when I'm at work or doing a group project, I'm very much a bit more towards the T. But when I'm socializing, I'm definitely a lot more F. And I know this because I've done the MBTI test multiple times.
Okay.
And you have to kind of think what setting you'd be, how you'd react to a specific setting. And in the social, if we're out and about, I'm more of an F. But if I'm working, I'm definitely more of a T.
Then for the sake of balance, we'll keep you as a T
Yes.
of the duo.
Because we are working. So yes. So you might get more T answers from me.
Exactly. Sounds goody. Please take us away with the next submission.
So yes, the next submission comes by the anonymous sender named 119 119 and
119.
it says, "Hello, Yohan and AJohn. These days, I'm having a different opinion from mom on managing work.
Oh.
She's stuck with her own mind while I'm trying to share some solutions to improve work better. She didn't need my opinion and asked me to go silent.
Oh.
I guess it is because money management isn't organized well. Mom uses the money that is credited from the company A to buy other items that run out of stock and pays the credit to the company A every 5 days.
Okay.
However, the customer's interest is to buy items has gotten lower lately globally, so sometimes we can't pay back a lot. Sometimes customers ask when we are restocking the items that are out of stock for many times. I'm just afraid many customers will run away if it continues like this. 고민이야.
Oh, no, this is a very difficult one, isn't it?
is.
Especially when it's all about financial flow, the money flow, and, like holding a business. I mean, I don't think I'm the right person to ask because I always go broke. But yeah, business, first of all, is a very difficult thing to manage. Entrepreneur.
It definitely is. And while communication is important, but communication, talking with your parents especially, it can be hard for them to, try to listen to you. So trying to get through to them could be a very hard 고민 as well, especially when it comes with money.
Exactly. And as you mentioned, the consumerism nowadays, globally speaking, it's not the best, right? Even for myself, I tend to be much more reserved in purchasing stuff nowadays. But at the same time, I think, just to split out kind of carefully,
2 cents, yep.
marketing is very important.
Right.
Whether that is music, whether that is business, a superstore, an apparel, whatever it is, marketing mean not like TV commercials or anything. I mean, just simple ways to kind of reach out to the local community and try to draw their attention to
Right.
your store. Could be it could be a big jump.
Right.
Because even for our show, The Archive, we're doing our best to reach out to the local global community, to be honest, through IG account. And we're doing our best to post stories, hold town hall meetings. I mean, these are for the marketing purposes, right?
Right.
If the only resolution here is to draw attention from potential consumers, marketing could be the first thing you might want to eye on.
Right, exactly. And marketing, especially if it's our parents' generation, they might not be really up to date with the current, what's trending these days. So hopefully helping them in that ways could be a way. But yes, it does seem like a very tough situation that 119 is currently left in.
And, I don't know, like, we are definitely not qualified to give you advices here.
Right. I've
but
never done a business, but yes.
These are just simple 2 cents. And our listeners are also leaving some tips. Janika says building that connection, brand management, and all that too.
Right.
Right? Other comments you want to read out by any chance?
Yeah, marketing is, Wendy says marketing is one of the trickiest things, but at the same time, we need to think simple for it.
Also, Jun says nowadays there are so many free marketing tools without having to spend money.
Right. A lot of people are using AI tools. If you search it up, yes, it's it's kind of confusing at first, but if you get used to it, they are very, very comfortable to use, and they do things instantly for you. So yeah, hopefully that could be something that you guys can our listener can look into.
Right. And also the biggest core problem here was the inability to persuade her mother, right?
Right.
Her or his mother. I'm not really sure who that is. But trying to open up in a very mature way
Right.
and try to actually hold a really good conversation. Obviously, it's difficult, I'm assuming, right now.
Right.
But if you could push through with that decent conversation over, I don't know, a drink or coffee or something,
Right.
hopefully you'll be able to set something together as a team.
Yes.
Because, business is all about partnership. Shall we
Exactly.
check the book of answers?
Yes, so
to see
let's
what kind of
look
answers we
towards
can give?
the book of answer, and I'm gonna go a bit towards the front.
Please. So
And the
here-
answer is
The answer is...
says perhaps when you're older.
Oh no! Perhaps when you're old.
Perhaps when you're older.
Hey, well, let's give one more try.
Yes,
Because
another-
this is an urgent message. Not older, but maybe tomorrow. Because you're a day older.
Technically, you're a day older.
Right, so true, right?
Yeah.
So do not hesitate. Perhaps when you're older, if today didn't work when you're older. That's
Right.
tomorrow.
Maybe set some time, wait, see how it goes, and then maybe your mom will be, willing to listen a little bit, maybe a
That's
week
also
later
true.
down
That's
the
also
road.
true. Because
Timing is important when it's communication as well.
exactly. We are definitely running out of time. But to give you my 2 cents here, I also had to persuade my parents that when it comes to Korea and pursue a career in music,
Right.
I made a full presentation of my life, how it will look like when I come to Korea. And that's when they finally allowed me to do so.
Right.
So maybe setting that parallel kind of power balance
Right.
between you and your mother.
Find the right timing. And yeah, when you're older, maybe it's a minute older, but
Exactly.
hopefully it'll work out.
Sounds good. Yeah, with that said, I'm going to play out 2 songs for the 2 messages that came in because we're located on the 8th floor. Here goes Elevator by Pekko, followed by 힘내, Way to Go by Girls' Generation, 소녀시대.